Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm on today because there's been a couple of requests in my group about what to do with pages like this that you get out of your books. You know, your more sort of glossy style garden pictures. So I've grabbed a few that I could find. I know I have a whole heap I want to do things with, which I can't find at the moment. I'm in a bit of a rush, so I just grabbed some of the ones that I thought would be good for a start to show you. So we'll get stuck into that. Hopefully you find it somewhat useful. So I'm going to start with this one. Now this one comes from an old book from the 70s or something. So they tend to be quite brittle. Now usually with something like this I'd probably make an envelope, but when you've got the brittle pages they just crack when you try and fold them. So I think the best bet for this one is to back it, which I'm going to do first. Just strengthens it a bit. You could just cut it up and cover an envelope or something with it. That'd be cool as well. But I thought for this one we will just back it. I've got some old, this is quite brittle too, paper that I picked up at the second-hand store. So I'm going to use that and put it on. So we'll do that first. I'm just going to use glue stick because I might end up sewing around the edges. If I don't sew around the edges, then I tend to use glue stick in the middle and then my helm is just around the edges because I don't trust glue stick, especially not around the edges. So I hope you're all stocked up on your groceries and your glue and your craft items. I've done well because I picked up a whole lot of glue the other day and I went out today and I was heading just for Coles, but I thought, look, I'll stop into Aldi because it was on the way, and I'm so glad I did because their limit was, I think it was about 8 or 9 cans or whatever. And they had some in stock, like of big tuna cans and that, which was great. So I was able to grab myself 3 big lots of tuna because my son loves tuna mornay, so I thought that's something that we can have in the cupboard. I buy long life milk as well, so with that and the canned corn and the canned tuna, that's something we can have when the fresh food runs out. Because the other day I bought mainly fresh foods and cooked them all up and froze them, so it was time to stock up on all the non-perishables today because I'm looking forward to staying inside, I think. So it was funny going out to the shops today because, you know, some of them had the sticky tape on the floors showing where you should stand to distance yourself from others, and then other places just didn't seem to care, and sort of a bit disconcerting really. I rather err on the side of caution, especially because I have loved ones, and yeah, I want to keep them safe, so I think I'm going to try and stay home as much as possible now. Just go out for things like medication and if we really need food. But I think I'm going to pull all of my food out of the cupboards later, and I'm a bit anal, but I'm not this anal, but I think it's time to be. You know, some people write a, what do they call it, like a list of all the food they have on hand so they can see when they're going to run out what they need and what meals they can make. So I think now's the time to do that really, so I might do that later and have a list of all the cans and that so we can try and make them last and make the most of what we've got. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So I will just wait for the glue to dry just a little bit. I might cut with my scissors rather than my Fiskars cutter just for the moment. Go around the edges. I'll cut this edge off first. So yeah, it's funny when these things happen. I was trying really hard to do the whole social distancing thing, but a lot of people just don't seem to care, so you almost start getting angry. I can see where some of these rage episodes happen because, you know, I feel like telling people to get away from me. Yeah, it's a weird time of the world that we're living in at the moment. But we're in for the long haul, so I suppose the best thing is to keep each other amused. So as I said, I'll probably be doing lots of cruddy little videos, and whether they're interesting or not, I'm going to do them. because it helps me take my mind off, and if it helps anyone else, then that's, yeah, a good thing. Alright, so that's nicely backed. It's feeling a lot firmer now. I always do that and then I go, oh, which way is up? It looks like that way is up. Now there's so many things you can do with this. A lot of people sort of get confused as what you can do, but I think, you know, with any paper you just treat it like you do your scrapbooking papers. So you've got your pockets, your envelopes, tuck spots, all sorts of things. And with a big page like this, you could make a number of different items that you could do a page spread with, so you've got some matching bits and pieces. So I'm thinking we might do that with this today. So I reckon I'll just grab my trimmer now. Hopefully it won't get too glued up. I'm just thinking where's best to cut it at this moment. I do have, I've got some tea-dyed paper. It's very lightly tea-dyed, but I might fold that because it will just give us some idea of how we're going to put things on pages. So that can be a pretend journaling page. So I reckon if I cut about there, it doesn't matter if it's not exact. And then, that's pretty good. I think the glue's still a bit wet, but that's alright. And then if we cut about here. Don't know if it's the glue or the paper underneath. It's a bit, I think it's a bit of both, but that's alright. Now, so I've got those two pieces, and that one's going to be a bit big for what I want, I reckon, so we'll cut that down just a little bit more. Okay, now that it's backed, you could use this as a journaling card. So you could slip it into any pockets or whatever. You can also put it on the cover and make a beautiful cover and then embellish that with laces and all sorts, which would be lovely too. Now, another thing that is quite popular is your tip-ins and your flip-outs, or whatever you want to call them. So there's numerous different ways you can do them. You can do them so that they're on this side of the page and they flip out that way. You can do them so they're up the top and they flip up that way. You could even do them as a little page that flips out that way or whatever. So, you know, the sky's the limit with that sort of stuff. These little rough edges are really bothering me. Sometimes I think the blade in my new trimmer's already like blunt. But as I said, the glue stick might have still been a bit wet too. The paper is old, so I reckon with this we'll do a tip-in, I think they call them. I don't get that word actually. I'd rather call them a flip-out. But that's just me. And I'm different like that. So now you can leave as is, or you can sew around. Sewing looks awesome. So I might end up sewing around all of this stuff. Now I just want to cut the rough edges off of this bit too. So with that one, I'm thinking perfect little belly band as well. I think it's upside down. Right, so out of that one piece, we can have a tip in. And the good thing about this is when you open up, you're creating yourself more journaling space. You can have a belly band. And now with this bit, we could leave it as a journaling card, or we could make a pocket out of it on the bottom of a page, which I'll probably do with that one. So I reckon I will, maybe I'll cut this to size to go on one of the other pages, and then I can sew them all at once. That would be smart, wouldn't it? Yes, Nat, it would. About there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I reckon that's one of my favourite sayings. It lets me off a lot when I say that. We've still got that, so we can make a little journaling spot out of that too. So now I'll probably get the basis of all these done today and make some more little bits and pieces out of these pages, and then I might, if I've got time, on another day embellish it a little. Yeah, just cut that little bit off. Now I'm just thinking how I want to do this pocket. Do I want to, I mean, you can corner around and everything too. Maybe that'd be nice on this one. And I might do it, let's see if it works. The 10mm. Yep, that worked good. Just makes it look a bit less like a magazine page or whatever. And then we might corner around the top of these as well. And we've still got that bit, which will make a little belly band or a collage. Might even keep that for a collage after. And this might actually, you could use them for the base as scrap sort of a layered ephemera. What I might do with this one is use the 7mm corner rounder. Then that looks more like a nice little journaling card there. Just get rid of the rubbish that I created. So what I am going to do is go and sew some of these bits and pieces, and then I'll be back to put them on the pages and see what they look like. Okay, so I have sewed the pieces, so I'll show you this one. This one I did with black cotton, just around the edges, so that's going to be a tuck spot. And I wanted to show you just how much of a difference it makes when you change the colours of your thread. So as I said, that's a black. And then I did this one in a pink. And you can just imagine a nice contrasting colour, like a blue or a yellow or whatever. So really depends on the look you're going for, but play around with your cottons, because it does make a big difference. And also the type of stitch you use as well. I just did a little zigzag on these. So that's going to be my flip out. And then I couldn't help but add some lace to my belly band, because I grabbed this massive lot of lace. Well, there's more than that. It's just stuck under my cutter on my way back from Victoria the other day. So, and it was just sitting around because I was organising my lace the other day. So I thought it goes really nicely with the colour underneath. The only thing is I did just run, I sewed just along here and along there to hold it on, and it did pull a bit. So it's got a bit wonky down the bottom, but oh well, you get that. But it looks so nice. So far there are 3 bits that I've got. So what I want to do is I want to put this in. Now I thought I'd use a little paper hinge for starters for this one. I think it does go that way. So I've got this little paper hinge that I've made. So this is just some tea-dyed paper, and I've just cut a strip of it and folded it in half basically and made a little crease. So that's a paper hinge. Usually what I would do is stick the page on the inside of that side and then stick the flip on the inside of the other side of the hinge like that. But I don't really want, see, I didn't think too well. I don't think that would look too good. It wouldn't look too bad. I did think of inking it up and it would look quite nice over there. But I think I'm going to put it on the inside and see how that goes, and then I might reinforce with some washi tape. There are 3 ways that I usually do my hinges. The first one is the paper hinge. The second one is a material hinge, like with some calico or something. And it's basically the same process, but I usually sew it on and that looks really cool. And the third one is your washi tape hinge, where you just wash it and fold it over. Now, when I do that, I use some stick glue as well, just to make sure it sticks well. But I think I'll try putting this one on the inside. So I might stick it to flip first. I keep wondering if I've got it up the right way. I think I do. So I use my good Helmer's glue for this. Now I'll just fold it out. So you only want to glue half and stick it on that half. Let's see how we go at this. Thinking I might have to make this a bit of a series, because I must get on with another project after, so I'll have to leave this, go do my other project, and then maybe tomorrow I can do some more. Why not? By then I might have found my other pages too. That'd be nice. Figure I've got plenty of time on my hands now. My son doesn't know what all the fuss is about. He's quite happy just staying in his room, so it doesn't really mean much difference to him. So that's all right. He's been planning for it all his life. All right, so we've stuck that down. Now I'm just going to get my bone folder and just run it along. Right, and I'll just show you. So I've just stuck it down the edge there, and so we've got half of it there where the fold is. So the idea now, I'm gonna have to make a journal or something with all these pages now, aren't I? So the idea now is to stick that to the page. So see how we go with that. Usually I do the hinge on the outside, and then on the inside I'll use another bit of paper or washi or material or whatever, just to reinforce, and makes it look nice too. You just play around and see what works for you. Now, where do we want it in relation to the page? Just turn it over, try and get it there. That's looking not too bad. I'll just use the bone folder again. Alright, so now you should just be able to fold it in like that. Now of course we should let it dry before we fiddle around too much, and that's the way it looks on the inside. So what I might do to reinforce this as well is I have some beautiful washi tape that I got from Auntie Vera the other day. It's so nice. So I might actually, a lot of the time I'll run it down like a big long hinge, but I might actually just put 2 strips over like that just to reinforce this other side. I think that'll look alright. Now I'm just going to rip it too. I'm not too fussed about the look of it really. I don't want it perfectly straight. So I might just stick some up here. And I don't mind it being on the other side. I'm learning to be a bit more junky with my journals and rip things a bit more, and not have to have it all perfect, especially if it's something I'm doing for myself. I think we can see the little birdie a bit there. Alright, so there we have our little flip out and heaps more space there to stick pictures or journal on. Now what I thought I would do there is I have a bit of an offcut here. So I've just got a little bit that's sticking out there. I reckon I will just make a little belly band here that we can slip a tag or something into. And then we can still journal either side, but we've got room for a tag to slip in as well. So I'll just stick that on. You could also do a little pocket down the bottom, which would be quite nice. So I'm just putting glue on both ends of this. Figure out where I want it. About there, I reckon. I think that's semi-straight. Now I'll just block my glue off. Go. Now I might end up having to put something down there so my tag doesn't slip through, but otherwise that's the way it will be, although I'd do a bigger tag for it, I reckon. So I can slip that out now. So I've got our little flip there now, and then we've got our belly band which can go over this side. What I might do is I find a flower later or something to put there where it's real warped. I will do better next time. Famous last words. Now, so where exactly do I want my belly band? I might have it in the middle. So again, I'm just going to stick glue on both the ends. I didn't back stitch when I sewed the lace on, but it doesn't matter because I'm gluing the ends down anyway, so that'll secure the threads more. Maybe up just a little there, like that. So now I've got a belly band there that we can slip a little card or piece of a page or something in if we want to, like that. So as I said, you can basically just use it how you do your scrapbook and paper, but if it is old like this one, if I tried to do an envelope with that, it would just break because it's so brittle. But if you do back up with some other paper, it makes it nice and sturdy and you can do all sorts with it. And then we've got this pocket. Now, just run that along there. Don't know if I want it. Now you can always cut the threads, which I might because they do annoy me a bit. Depends on the style of journal you're doing. Sometimes I leave them, sometimes I cut them. But I reckon we'll whack our pocket down here. Or tuck spot, I should say. It's not really a pocket. So you just glue the three sides and leave the top open. Now, I still might embellish these. I'm not sure yet. Once I get it all together, I might embellish them a bit more. But for now, I mean, they're so pretty, they really don't need it. But a bit of lace and a button, or a bit of lace and a little flower up in one of the corners would look quite sweet. So there, so far we've got a pocket or a tuck spot. We've got a belly band. We've got a tip in and another little belly band there. So I might leave this video there and I might do a little bit more tomorrow. Why not? It's fun and it's a good way of me using up some of these book pages, which is my plan while I'm shut in. So stay well everyone, stay safe, be good and see you again soon. Bye.